All right, well, welcome back everybody. We are on cycle 18, day 1 of our Timberborn playthrough with our beaver boys. If you watch all of my videos, you will have noticed that the episode before this one, which would have been cycle 17, so it's probably episode 17, looked pretty crap and it was trash. And there was a reason for it. Had an encoder issue, went from simple to advanced settings, not realizing that the bitrate was going to change. It was a super low bitrate, so it looks like garbage. Did a lot of testing, just like messing with my mic, trying to make sure that I'm keeping everything where it's, not being clipped. So, yeah. I want to make sure that my voice isn't being clipped. I want to make sure that you can hear me on the mic. So you're kind of growing along with my own growing pains. So hopefully I'm not yelling in your ears now. I'm watching like the little monitor in OBS and checking that out, making sure that you all can hear me. I can hear the game, and that when it records and finalizes, that everything is there and should be working as normal. In this case, this was not one of those settings where the encoder was broken, and I didn't have a save to go back. But then I also thought about it and was like, well, this is a raw playthrough, so you are getting to see where I fail as well, not only in game but in YouTubing and recording on YouTube. So that's where we are. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder, like, would it make sense to have, we have a path across here? I don't know. Eventually I'd like to get across this. So, but we're looking really good. Our beavers are going to be really happy. They have roofs over them, so you can see all of those buildings on that half are covered by that roof. And if we go over here, these buildings are covered by that roof. Those buildings are covered under a roof, and these buildings are all covered. So like everybody's covered under a roof. Those beavers are going to be really happy, especially as they move in. We may build this up to a 2 level. I think we may hold off on that until after we have dynamite, because once we get dynamite, we're going to bury these lower houses. And what happens is, instead of having a 3 on the bottom, you just have this one on the bottom, and it can go inside or outside. But then you just put some stairs in the ground as well, and that makes it just a little bit lower, so they can come in here. This is ground level. They can actually go down a level, and then you go up. So then instead of having like all this height, you have like half of a building right here. And then maybe we'll see like if that makes sense to swap that out and have just 4 of them at that level. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens when we go to rebuild it. I do have a video that I've seen. Skystorm, if you don't follow him, man, he is just so great. He's been on a hiatus, but he has several Beaverborn or Timberborn videos that you could watch. So, all right, well, enough just hearing me talk. Let's let this go. So we're on cycle 18, day 1. Like I said, we are starting to flow some water in. We want to continue to push out this bad water again. And then, where we left off, we're building this tower of power. So we can continue building that on, and hopefully, like, let's just get this done. High priority. We are working on warehouses, getting that into shape. We're starting to get some scrap metal built up. They're going to need some scrap metal in order to build this, which they've already taken it. So we're going to have a smelter available, even though that's a lower priority. Let's check our priorities real quick. This is a really high priority. Why are they not doing that, but they're working on smelter? We need some planks. For one, we need a whole lot of planks, and we are out of plank. So let's look at this, and we're going to prioritize these by haulers. That's going to get our lumber mill working just that much more efficiently. I know we've talked in the past that we want to eventually have all of these done. And with... Aha, you thought I was going to forget that this time. I did not. Let's go on 2 speed just so we can get this water going. We did not forget to pump the water. We are in here at 0.14, so we still had a tenth of a tile of water. So we should be good to go. Let's see, what's our contamination? 9. I really want to get lower than that. Maybe at 5 and we'll open these up. 5. All right. Well, we need to open these up as well. You can see we are having a little bit of bad water come in, but it's not that bad. And now that this is flowing, okay. You know, we'll just close this one up. And there we go. So now all this water is going to flow. It's not going to kill us. It's not going to hurt us. The other thing is, you know, we have our beavers on platforms here, beavers on platforms here. The only ones that could possibly get sick would be maybe, you know, these that are working and going around. What are they doing? They're taking logs. Nice. Okay. So they're actually utilizing that path. That's really, really interesting. I didn't think they would utilize that path at all. And what's funny is they're not even following the path. They're taking a shortcut through our spatter dock. Let's see. 0 contamination. Let's see what this says. 2%. I think they're okay with that. We're going to have a lot of water going this way as well. We're already starting to power our water wheels. Lots of flow in here. Man, we're already full. I want to get this built as well. So we'll put that high priority. 2% contamination. Yeah, we're still all right. A little autosave there. Wait, what's blocked by bad water? Oh, the Lido. Okay. That'll be fine. Lido. There it goes. It's fine now. Building lacks workers. Yep. That's the one we are okay with. 2 jobs. So 1 hauler. That. Now, construction materials. That's a big thing because we are out of planks. Should we build more plank factories? We have tons of wood. That's weird. It's really weird when the water like drops. Like this is something there's water, been water there forever. And now it's suddenly drying. We did close that. So all the water is coming through here. Maybe it's because it's still considered slightly contaminated. Yeah, we got 1%. So maybe with 1% contamination, it pulls back a little bit. All right, well, like I said, let's start building this up, see how high we can get it, and see if they start balking at what we have. If you recall, once we had the base down, that was all we needed to do. Everything else has been 2. Just two high platforms. So we don't have to do any thinking, it's just running it all the way up. You know, if we really wanted to, like, we could do a 1 here, but there's no point in it because we're going up every turn, and that helps us get up higher and higher. We don't really want to go around and then have to do a raise up. What that means is, like, when we build out, like, we could come down here and have a road just go straight off that if we want. We could have this come across with platforms, and keep our beavers out of the water if we want it. But realistically, once we build this all the way up to the top, they'll probably never need to go up there anyway. So, but it would also give us an opportunity. We get rid of this side, we could just make a platform tower that just went straight across here and just have battery after battery after battery. We need those stairs anyway, because we have to get down here. But we could make this a shortcut if we wanted to. So let's start adding in some too high platforms. All right, so there we go. Stairs. Stairs. Path, path. And then this side is, yep, power. High power shaft. High power shaft. 90. 90. And now we're back to platforms. So yeah, in the center we don't have anything. We don't really need anything there at this point. We will when we top out. So, you know, that'll just be slamming a couple 3 highs in there. Which, let's see, that takes 4 planks, 6 logs, 4 planks, 4 log. So if you're using these, depending on your height, your logs are what gets you the height. But if you're stacking like 3 of these to get up to here, that's where you're losing planks, because it's the same amount of planks for each platform. Little helpful tip. All right, high power shaft. Yeah, I really wonder how high this is gonna let us build. Like right now we are not higher than those mountains. Usually I think like that mountain might be the top. Let's see. Let's see how many more it would let us go on this. Whoop. Wow. That's gonna be a super tall tower. Did they change the limit? All right. So you can see that is as high as we can go on that. And somewhere there's a randomly placed platform. So yeah, that's how high we can go. And that's how high we are now. We are just shy of this mountaintop. Let's say we're about 2. So I think we're right around in that area. So yeah, that's how tall we're gonna go. So the question is, what can you put on top of that once you're topped out? Because you can see, like, you can't build any more, but that top one should allow you to do something like, oh, maybe not. Put a monument up there? No. So if I delete that one, can I put a shrub on there? That one won't let me go. Can I put a monument? Maybe a beaver statue? So yeah, there is a topping out point. There we go. So that one. At one point in time, like, it would tell you, like, you can't go any taller than this. So I don't know if that is the topping out point because the bush is so tall. Let's put two of these side by side. The idea of this is we want to see if it'll let us put. So no, it won't let us put that up here. So let's go down 2, or let's go down 1, and then come back up here. Nope. So I know it used to be once you got up to a certain height, there you go. So it would say you can't build any higher, but it was you can't build anything on the ground or any like platform or anything like maybe a levee. Like you can't build those any higher, but it looks like they've changed it to where you can top out. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so you see the windmill? I can't do this. So there's a ceiling, but the ceiling is now not the floor of the platform. The ceiling is now the highest point of whatever you're building on there. So you can see a windmill can't go. But we could still do the battery here. Chances are, yeah, the farmer monument, we can't really tell because that's, you know, 1 high. Oh, let's see about these platforms. Yeah, so 3 high is fine. So we do like a 2 high. We do that. And that. So you can see that's how high we have to be for that windmill. Interesting. All right, well, now we know roughly how high we have to be. And let's go over and keep working. Yes, we have everything we need there. 2, 2. There we go. Got all the 2s in. That right? Yes. Stairs. Stairs. Path. Path. Come around over here. That power shaft. That power shaft. 90. 90. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those things where I'll work on it for a minute, come back, do a couple layers, go check on the beavers, see what they're doing. We can see we have 3 jobs that are not taken. My guess is, yep, 2 there. 2, 2, 2, 2. The only problem with doing it from the top is I can't always tell where I need to do the steps. Because I'm like, which side was I on? And there's really no way of, like, I can't put the path where I want it. Because... yeah, I guess maybe from the top. I should be able to tell that. No, because then I go too high here, 2, and 2. But I guess if I can remember that I just covered up the stairs last, then do that. Maybe that'll work. I will forget that by the time I come back to this. So you can see, Tower of Power. It's so high. It's going to be a lot of planks and a lot of lumber, logs. So we're still good on logs. Oh, I've been paused this whole time. That sucks. All right. I don't know how long I was paused, but that's okay. Still on cycle 5. They're getting some storage done. Look at all these berries. I kind of want this to be a supply. So if we make that a supply, then that means as long as this has space, this won't be full, so they can continue to work. Oh, our dandelions cropped up as well. That can be a supply because we need to do our ingredient warehouse. You know, do we still have carrots? Oh, we're actually getting bread in here. So they finally moved all the carrots out. I think that was because... No. Like, we do have carrot warehouse. What do they do with all the carrots? They ate most of them. Wild. So instead of like doing anything with them, they just kind of ate them. Yeah, full of bread there. No grilled potatoes there. That's interesting. Well, it's because they're all here. So these should be set to obtain. So all of these warehouses near this stuff should obtain goods from other warehouses. And I think that will work. So what we have is we have a medium. So these are where like our excess will go. This is supplies. So it's closer to the manufacturing. It goes in here. It gets moved from here, should be here for the next level. And then from here, it should go here. But it could easily, because these are done, it'll skip these. So it'll move it from like this position to this position. And if these are full, then this is the overflow. I think that's really how we want it to work. We don't want the centralized location to be the only place that this food is located. We want the food to always be located closest to the beavers to begin with. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that's lacking materials, but that's because we have no plank. Let's see. Let's high priority some stuff. That. And we'll just do that and that. That way we have it. That's Let's treat it planks. And that's partly what's happening is we're taking all of our logs, yes, and we're making them into planks, but we're also making them into treated planks. So we have like two things that need planks. Everything that we're building plus a warehouse, or not a warehouse, but a factory. So maybe it's time that we increase our plank production. I really want to see that get built. Our warehouses, like that's a really good setup. I'm pleased with that. I look forward to seeing these grow a little bit more. Logs and planks. So that's our cattail crackers, maple pastries, grilled spatterdock, grilled chestnuts. Let's get in there. So if we do another couple factories, we'll start pulling from our haulers. So maybe we want to get a couple beavers born here. Let's see, we're already 4 jobs behind, which is more haulers. That'll give us 9. So why don't we turn that on? We'll get another 10 beavers. One thing we've talked about is we don't have enough campfires. If we talk about this, wet fur, so we have Lidos, Lidos. We could put a shower in, that may help. Maybe we could do a couple of those up by this water. Cattail crackers, maple pastries, those are the only foods that we need. So you can see everybody's really happy with what they have. They're not really happy with the campfire. And I'm going to lower this by an hour when we're out of here. So you can see the roofs, that's really helped. Shrubs really help. We get some beaver statues and stuff, that'll really help as well. And then we have a farmer's monument that's coming up. That'll really help a lot for that group. This one, we're still waiting on dynamite. I'm going to wait on dynamite before I do anything with this. Another autosave. So let's talk about showers and if we can put any in anywhere and what makes sense. You know, maybe just a couple right here. We don't need a whole lot more power. Like this only takes, it's not telling me any. 60 horsepower. So there we go. Now it's doing it. So we're always going to have enough unless the wind stops, when the water stops. So let's talk about a shower. We put a shower right here. It's under well-being. I can do like 3. And then we'll put a path in there. There we go. So 3 showers. We'll make those high priority. We want some wet beavers. Did they do this? No, they haven't. So we have way too many high priority things kind of hanging out right now. All right. So we have 5 jobs that aren't taken. And that's 4 there. How's our lumber looking? Like, are these boys really working hard? Are they getting everything cut? So everything there's marked for cutting. Look at that. They've cut almost all of that. They're getting through these dead trees, which is really something that I was curious about. We don't need to cut any of that. So get rid of it. Looks like we could plant at least 1 more blueberry bush there. I think it would be okay. Let's check. So my question is, should we put in another forester and start looking at where we can get some more trees planted? nothing here. We don't want to cut any of that, so we're doing some cleanup. None of that needs to be cut. What's going on over here? We have a few things here, a few things there. Yeah, I don't know if we want to do forests or not. All right. We did talk about some irrigation, so let's prep for that and see what that's going to look like for our little beaver boys. We talked about something here, so we could put something in, and I'm gonna go back over here to our little area where we do some test stuff. So it used to be you could go like this, and that would be a big enough area. I don't think it's a big enough area anymore. When you put water in there, it only does just right around it. So you have to do a little bit bigger spot. And you have to do like 3, I believe. So if we do 3, we end up with something like this. And that's actually 4, so maybe we could do this. That might be enough, but you can see that takes up quite a bit of space. What are we talking if we do it this way? 1, so 3 by 5. So we got 15 tiles plus, then you do your water dump, which sure, we'll spend those points. We have them. You do something like that. And then you do 1 more for the steps. So you're talking like 16 spots. We can give it a try and see how that works for us. Definitely don't want them building any of that. It's our experimentation place. Alright, so again, maybe dynamite's better. You know, what's the other option for this shape? Do something like that. That better? And then you got 4 by basically 4. 16. That's 15, 16 anyway. So yeah, I think it would end up being roughly the same. You know, you could put steps there. Do your fluid dump like that, and then put a path on it. That probably looks nicer than that. Like if I had to choose between the two of these, yeah, I kind of like that better. I don't know if that's going to work, so we're going to give that a try. We have a block that we can use. We don't need all these carrots, so we can kind of just put it in there and see what we end up with. The same with this. We don't necessarily need all these sunflowers, and we can spread this out just a little bit more. I don't know how far it would go. Here we are again. We're wondering like what they're working on. They're working on warehouses. Again, we're still really tight on planks, so. Put some down here. I don't really know where I want to put these yet. Expand more this way. At some point, we're going to start building robots as well. Like, we could put it here. We could change out the top one to a 3-way. So if we did this, we'd have to put in another high power shaft. Like that. And then we'd have to put in a 90. Like, just, that feels like such a waste of space. But I don't really know what my other options would be on that. %, sure it's not going to get any power from here. You know, the other option is to go down, and then you're right there. And that would look like this. Oh, that's interesting. I wish there was like a 3-way that went up high as well. Because we do still want to have this like there. I mean, we could go out one. We go out one. If we build across here, we have these other smelters and stuff. Maybe that would be all right. Because then we do this. It allows us to put another giant storage here. Put that in like that. What are we putting in here? Regular water. And then we are prepared for bad water. So I'm trying to decide what makes the most sense. Still have 4 jobs not taken. We do have 10 beavers coming up. Again, the 4 jobs hauling. I do want to redo this at some point. The warehouses made some of that a moot point. Like, we could put in some of these where, yeah, it's going to be really hard. Let's think about future growth. So future growth, if we wanted to put those up higher, you know, something like what we did with the paper mill. So we have, this is storing paper, that's storing gears. We have logs and paper. Like, we don't really need gears up here. Technically, we could ask for logs and just be like, but we can't because this warehouse doesn't take logs. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not happy with that setup. There's got to be a better way of doing it. And if we're storing gears somewhere else, let's change this to paper, and we'll do paper. Because we know gears are going in here anyway, and it's set to obtain. So like, it's easier to get the gears over to here than it is over here. So we'll put all the paper there for now. Are we doing anything with paper here? Yes. So again, that's obtained. So realistically, these could both be supply. We never did get the med hut, so we're making paper. We don't really even need it. Maybe when we get to 1,000 paper, we'll just shut those off. Look at all that maple syrup. This is going to be some delicious maple pastries once we get to it. All right. Irrigation. We're going to do the 4x4. Four by four, right? 4x4, yeah. And the reason why we're doing it so close when we test this is because I want to see if it helps irrigate any of this down here, if it ever dries out. I'd also want to see how far out it goes here, because we do have farmhouses. We can get a little bit further, and this farmhouse gets all the way up to the warehouse. So yeah, get those out there. They may get to them. They may not. What do these need? Planks. Logs and planks. So, yeah, maybe this would be a good idea for a forest. We did put that underneath the Lido, so we can't really destroy it until we do something else with that. Or we could come over here and just destroy this. You know, we don't need a whole lot of water flowing through here, but I'd like it, and it'll put all this up. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we don't really need this for anything else, but it would be great for forestry. And then once all this is gone, you know, we'll have forest there. And if we need to irrigate, like, here's a perfect square that we could use for it. So why don't we plan on that? Let's demolish that. And we'll make it a #1 priority. And of course, they can't get to it. They can if they ever build these steps. So we'll just have to wait for it. In the meantime, we can start prepping for that. Put a forester in here. He gets that entire area. That's not bad. Get that entire area done. Get all those trees planted in. Let's see, we'll demolish that road. And we'll put in that road. Go to there, we can get a couple lumberjacks in. Okay. Still looking good. A day until a bad tide comes. We have plenty of water. Plenty of water. Beavers are so happy we have enough water. Food, 5K. 5K food. And some of that is from berries. Now that we have a place to store berries, they're just going and getting all the berries. Our bread, looking really good. That's because our wheat is super high. You can see these little beaver boys are working hard. They're prioritizing planting, so there's always going to be wheat. We haven't made any cattail roots into flour, so that's kind of like that's stuck. We're not manufacturing any of that. We're not really doing a whole lot just because there's nothing to do with them. Are we making grilled spatterdock? We are making grilled spatterdock. So again, we don't have an ingredients warehouse. So because we don't have an ingredients warehouse, this is kind of just hanging out. So yeah, that's our next thing. Where do we want to put ingredients? You know, we could continue to take over this area and just do another 4. And we could always swap them out, make them a little bit closer. Or we can do a different area. That's going to be kind of far. I guess we did talk about this. That's a good central location. Let's just prepare for that. We'll tell them to like rip all these berries out. We don't need a whole lot of berries. They're easy to plant. Foresters can plant it. They come back. We have a whole bunch that we're already gathering here. So I don't know that we need all these. So we're just going to wipe them out. And we'll put that on a high priority. And we're just going to do this whole area. What'll end up happening too is, again, hinging our hopes on dynamite is we'll be able to put this down a little bit. Make that lower. So yeah, it'll be lower, it'll be flatter. Maybe this is where we dig some holes, put in some water pumps so we don't ever run out of water there. But I think we're really good. Like having storage is really the solution for surviving droughts because it doesn't evaporate. The solution kind of goes off the rails when all right, I'm gonna pause this. It kind of goes off the rails when you're talking about crops and stuff. So for crops, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you have enough water that doesn't go away. If you run out of water here, then it kind of kills everything else. But if you're storing enough water, then you can put in some irrigation fields and kind of takes care of itself. You know, you can blast a channel here and it just irrigates everywhere. So I guess my problem is I slow played the dynamite. So that's where we are. You know, slow playing the dynamite isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely, it'll definitely slow you down with some things that you want to build. No more water here. No more water here. Don't have to worry about any of this. Again, we can't flood this because we're 1 high here. it'll end up flooding all this entire area. And I don't know that that's worth it for us right now. Let's see, is our injured beaver? Yeah, he's in a little med bed. He's resting. Oh, they got rid of those. Awesome. Okay, so what we want to do is put in our levees. And we're doing it this way because, you know, we could put it either here or here. There's stairs that has to go in. Fluid dump. There we go. Stairs and a path. We don't need a path to go all the way around. So this is the way to do this when you don't have dynamite. And then we'll see how far it reaches. Fills this up. Like, it may increase our range here. Put in a few more carrots, which will help us with what we pull out. But for here, this is where our other storage is going to go. We're just probably going to centralize it and then see what it looks like. That tower is going to be massive when it's finally done. We'll have enough power for what we need it for. Oh, we need to pause the large water pump. 3 beavers with no job. So we have room for 83 beavers. We have 83 beavers. We have room for 1 extra. All right, well, while we're doing that, let's think about dynamite. We need this explosives factory, and we need it pretty quickly. Takes bad water and turns it into explosives. I still like the idea of putting it over here by the mine. I feel like that would be fun. One problem is power. It takes 150 horsepower. Well, we talked about putting in Plank's factory over here. So what if we just do it this? We do this. Put this here. What holds dynamite? Because we need a tank for bad water. Do we want 2 tanks, or will 1 be sufficient? I'm going to put it here, just for the symmetry of it. And actually, I'm going to, like, do we want to do it like that? So it'll be right like that. We're going to, that's still going to be water. Let's make that higher priority. That'll be okay. Put that in here. We don't want it there. We want it one over. Right? We do it there. We have to put in a three-way high power shaft, an angle. That's just kind of a wreck. This way we just put in a high power shaft and we're good to go. I mean, we could tie it into that. I don't really want to. I'd rather just put it there. Put a path in here. Path there. I want this water tank gone so I can just move this. Move this platform, but that's going to be where it is for now. And we're not going to destroy this until we're like absolutely ready. And we can put that in three-way. Because if we take this out, then it pretty much gets rid of most of the power for up there. It'll just stop science and paper. But that's only if the water's not flowing or the wind's not blowing. The water not flowing cuts out this side, so we have to wait till we're not in a drought or in a bad tide. 3.3 days left. Our water is at 0.29. I still don't understand why it doesn't quite get to 0.7 when it's flowing. It really should, because that's where these leave off, but who knows. This should say 100% contaminated. Yep. So you can see what happened here. How is that all contaminated? So I think I know what happens is I'm gonna close all of these. Maybe we'll get some evaporation going on. I think if I hit this one, then it goes to 2. If I do this one, it synchronizes so the top is 1, and I've kind of messed myself up by doing that. We're gonna hopefully watch this evaporate. It won't evaporate in one day. I mean, we just know that that won't happen, but no wind. Buildings lack power. Down to 1 plank. But our warehouses are built. Cattail crackers, maple pastries, none of those. But look at that spatter dock coming in. Is this full of berries? Our berries are completely full and completely full. Again, if there's nothing to do, you should have an option to go haul. Like, these cats should not be, and I know I said cats, but these cats should not be just sitting around when there's nothing to do with their normal job. It should be, hey, you don't have anything to do? Go home. Those of you in restaurants have heard, you got time to lean, you got time to clean. That's basically what we're asking them to do. All right. Are they working on any of this? Probably not. It's a lower priority. They did get this out, so let's go ahead and start getting our large warehouses set up. These are food stores, so we need one here. One here? I think that'd be alright, right? Like the question is, do you want them to have to walk through this like that? Or do you just want it on the side? Like they're always going to be traveling through. Which one looks nicer? I don't know. That one's straddling too. Yeah. We'll do it with the consistency. One, two. Right. Find something else to do. Double platform. Double platform. Double platform. Paths. Paths. 2 ways. So it doesn't really matter which way. You can do it on either side. We'll do that one and that one. And then we'll stairs, stairs. Stairs, stairs. Alright, so now we're talking ingredients. We're here. Wheat. And wheat flour. So we did the things that we're cooking the most at the bottom. So now we can talk about raw chestnuts, spatterdock, raw potatoes, chestnuts, spatterdock, potatoes. And with this one, do we need dandelions? What did we not store somewhere else? We didn't store sunflower seeds. They're still eating them almost as fast as they come in. How much dandelion storage do we have? 200. Yeah, let's do dandelions. Our metal is starting to look good, 156 for scrap. Have we turned anything into actual metal? That is a wood workshop. No, we haven't yet built the smelter because we have no material. Oh no, what did you do? Alright, well, this is the cheapest thing. You get exactly what you paid for it back. So we'll let them build this as he just did. And then we'll put that one in. Oh, so they're working on all this because they have material. Interesting. That's wild. I've never really seen them do that. Oh, hey. they got this out. Look at all this. So they did get down there. They did get to destroy this. So this does fill up with water. I'm going to have them build a dam in here just to keep out any potential bad water. And this is fine because we can just destroy that. There we go. So 20 logs, they'll come find some. Again, this is not reachable. That's not reachable. Jesus. Man, I really screwed the pooch on this. Alright, well. Now they can at least get to those. Can't get the required material. Alright, well, the bad tide has ended. So we see our clean water coming in. This evaporated some, not as low as we really wanted it. So we'll see if we can get some of this to flush out. And the way we'll do that is synchronize those all to the bottom. And now it's done. We were good on water. You can see our Lidos start to really struggle towards the end of, you know, in this case, a bad tide drought. That one's pretty low too, so that one probably would have failed as well. But what are we gonna do? Nothing, right? Like, we can't do anything about that. They started building these. Oh, they're all logs. Okay, I thought those needed planks. All right, but we have storage, so that's good. We're started on the Tower of Power, so that's nice, and we have started on irrigation. So progress as promised. All right, well, I think our beavers are in good shape. We'll see what happens when we come back. I think next time we will definitely be fleshing out this forestry. Dynamite is a priority now, and we may do some cleanup next time. Yeah, I forgot about how green this got. Like, this is a good area, especially when we get dynamite. This will be another farm area, so we'll just prep for this. We can do some irrigation if we need to, but this will be a really, really good place for farming. In fact, if we have dynamite, we could actually blow out and like take over this entire area. So flatten this out, flatten this out, flatten this out, put an irrigation channel in, and just have water go into the entire thing. So that'll be interesting. All right, well, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know I'm having a lot of fun messing with the beaver boys. It's a lot less hectic now that we're in this situation and we have all of our stuff. It took several cycles and several missteps. Building needs water. What building? Oh, the Lido. Several missteps. We thought we had, you know, solved this problem. We didn't. We ended up having to do a double lock, so that's nice. But, you know, it's a learning process. So this is my first time. It's just a raw playthrough, like I've said, and we'll learn as we go. So, again, I hope you all enjoy the content and have a great day. Thanks, everybody.